the 10th. I did not film yesterday. What I ate yesterday was exactly what I ate the day before, except no bacon. I got extremely hot, overheated in the morning. I could not do anything. I could not function. I was so bad off. So today, I'm just watering the cucumbers and trying not to overheat because it was really bad yesterday. I basically laid in bed all day long. I was nauseous, shaky, not like my normal stomach issue at all. It was from overheating. I sweated my butt off. Also, my quiet time wasn't quiet time because Dino woke up before me and went out there talking the whole entire time as I was trying to water. So it wasn't a stress-free zone at all. I didn't get my morning wake up stress-free. And on top of it, he's standing there barely sweating, and here I am just drenched in sweat yesterday. I am sweating way more than I've ever sweat in my life. It is so weird. Even when I was 434 pounds, I did not sweat like I do now. The doctor said it's probably a hormone thing that I'm going through. My cortisol, I always pronounce it wrong, is elevated. We already know that I did the stress test for it. They give you steroids, a certain amount, and you go get your blood work and all that, and mine's rocketed through the roof. So combined with all that and hormonal issues, I'm sweating way more and I'm overheating way more with the mast cell. I'm intolerant of heat right now or cold, anything drastic, and I have these really weak episodes. I am taking electrolytes. My porch is still a mess, ignore that. But I'm gonna run out there, try to get some work done before I start getting too hot. I'm only allowing myself 20 minutes. I watered everything else enough yesterday, other than the cucumbers. That 20 minutes should be enough, and then I'll come back inside because I have things I have to take my daughter to today, so I cannot have a day like yesterday. Okay, during the summer, basically every day is hair washing day because I sweat so much. But y'all, look how much my hair is grown. And I literally just washed it a few minutes ago. And look, it's dry. That's how hot it is out here. It's insanely hot. Woo! I can't even talk. Samsung released their new Galaxy Watch 7 today. Dino's getting the Ultra. I would love the Ultra, but it's big. Okay, it is 47 mm. I can't handle more than a 40 mm. I'm trading in my last year's watch, the 6. So I'm only paying $99 for it. Okay, so I'm excited to get the new technology, and it's only cost me $99. And I barely used the 6, and this is a huge upgrade because I wanted to keep it all nice. I still wear the 5 every day. So, like I said, I'm extremely excited that I'm getting a new one and only paid $99. Honey, I went in. He's eating a cucumber like a pickle. Like it's this big. It's huge. Huge.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I won't let you on camera. He doesn't like cameras. But look, he's just biting into it.
It's an apple.
Alright, so the heat did kick my butt, y'all. Alright, we did go swimming. I did for an hour and a half. Dino did maybe an hour. I am extremely nauseous. When I ate the food the other night, I did, within 30 minutes, have to eat a Hawaiian roll. I got almost throwing up everywhere the heartburn started. And though I didn't eat the fat, and I only ate 1 piece of bacon or 2, and like I said, I didn't eat the fat. So, like, I have not been exaggerating when I say I cannot eat anything unless I have potato or bread with it. Not eating deli meat. Not even a frozen, sugar-free anything. Like making it myself, like popsicle thing. Nothing. There's nothing that I can put in my stomach other than a coffee without having heartburn. Water. Nope, I get sick. So I know I'm not getting as much water as I need. I try to do my water with my meal because I'm having bread at that moment or I'm having a potato. This is getting ridiculous. Like, it is driving me insane. No, I can't take any kind of antacids, no Nexiums, no Pepto-Bismols, no Gaviscons, no magnesiums, no, I have tried it all, and either it doesn't work and makes it worse, or I have allergic reaction. There is nothing you can tell me that I've not tried. Okay, I've tried the baking soda and water. I've tried everything. I tried the apple cider vinegar, ended up in the hospital, thought I was dying, but I have severe GERD, and that made it a billion times worse. A billion? Like, I really thought I was dying. It literally felt like I was having a heart attack. So I have tried it, done it, doesn't work. My stomach doctor literally told me, just make sure to eat a potato, rice, pasta, or bread. I don't process rice very well at all. Something to soak up the acid when I'm eating. One reason is I create a lot of acid in my stomach. I'm not low acid. They tested me for that. So I create lots of stomach acid when I eat anything. Okay. And the problem is I cannot eat a big meal. I haven't been able to in years. It's very tiny usually. Like, I didn't eat everything as usual on that plate at all, and that's not a real size plate. That is a dessert plate, actually. So I create all this acid. I eat a very small amount, and what's going to happen to the acid? This is what the stomach doctor explained to me. What's going to happen with all that acid? Well, it's not being used. It's not breaking down food because there's barely any food in there, so it makes me sick, and it comes up instead of doing its job because there ain't much in there to do its job. But it takes a lot more to I don't know. She was explaining that the potato and bread helps soaks it up, and so does rice and pasta, so it breaks down because I'm actually putting a little more in my stomach too, eating that kind of food. She explained it the best she could to me, so I'm explaining it to y'all the best I can, but that was the answer I was given. And every time I try not to eat any, I'm desperately ill. What are you doing, little girl? Sorry, there's a cat in here distracted me. What? Why are you crying? Little girl, no one can see you. Little girl, where are you? I have to watch her because she has a little bladder issue. Little girl, are you going to go hide? Are you hiding? Little girl. Little girl. Little girl. Little girl. She likes to sing. Little girl. Not gonna sing? Usually if you say little girl like that, she sings to you. And you can do it for a long time usually with her, but she wants belly rubs. Let me hold you? Oh, little girl. Hey, don't eat my feet. Well, you need to come up here. Be easier. Be easier than you underneath the desk and underneath the footstool. Ow. You're making biscuits on my leg. You're so silly. Say goodbye, Internet. Y'all, it is reading 105. 105. I am dying. Waiting for Haley. 105. I got ice pads for my meat because I went over to Chamco Meat Co. I was going to get some meat cut up a Kanya. They had already cleaned the machine for the day, and he was going to be so nice and either cut it by hand or go ahead and dirty it back up. No. I will come back the day I actually want to cook it because I would never do that to someone. I know how hard it is to clean those machines, and I know as thin as I want the meat to be, how hard it would be to cut it up, and everything was beautiful and already clean. I am not doing that to them poor people. No, because I would be crying if someone did that to me. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. But I did get another ribeye because I needed another one. I might cook it on the grill, actual grill tonight, or wait until tomorrow. It is so hot, so hot. There's no way I could use the black salt, I am way too hot for that. I mean, I might be able to do my picanha that I had cut the other day because it is so thin, it takes like 4 or 5 minutes. I got a bunch of new eggs. I'm gonna try eggs again. That's all I'm trying. I'm not trying chicken. I learned my lesson a million times on the chicken. So, I did get a little wiped earlier today, but I'm feeling better now. I did eat some carbs, not gonna lie. I got extremely nauseous, thought I was gonna throw up everywhere. And I ate 2 Hawaiian rolls, 30 total carbs, and I felt fine after that. The nausea went away. It was a little after the video I had made. I started getting heartburn on my nose again. Okay? Used to, wheat would make me sick. And maybe it does on other breads, but if I use Hawaiian bread anything, or, and not generic, it has to be Hawaiian bread, or ballpark anything, I'm perfectly fine with no issues. I am excited, I did find the hamburger buns that are 10 carbs less than having 2 Hawaiian rolls, and it looks so much bigger. My only goal right now is to stay 75 total carbs or less if possible, not throw up, not have heartburn, killing me, literally. If you have stomach acid that is pouring out your nose 24/7, getting in your lungs, guess what? That stage 3 GERD I have can turn to stage 4, which is esophagus cancer, and we do not want that. I would rather be a fat girl. Do you hear me? I'd rather be a fat girl than end up with esophagus cancer. And yes, I've had major stomach acid issues for so long, it's turned to stage 3. And we don't want it to ever go past. And as bad as I get it, like the doctors have said multiple times, and they're the ones that scared me, to eat carbs to make it stop, because it can happen overnight, especially as much as I've had. So we don't want that. I'd rather stay 222 pounds forever before getting that or anything else. Okay, I'm so allergic to stuff, y'all. Can you imagine? I wouldn't even be able to go through the treatments most likely. So my whole goal is to build muscle, tone body, have strength, feel good, not have allergic reactions to my food, to try to put mast cell activation syndrome back to sleep. That's my whole goal. It's just health. Alright? Years ago, before getting the Delta version, I would have told you would never see me eat a carb. Ever. It wasn't worth it. It destroyed my health. But the carbs I'm eating and the way I'm eating, the amount I'm eating, it's not destroying my health. It's actually making the GERD better. It's actually improving my quality of life. When I try to go days without it, my quality of life is horrible, y'all. Because the acid is so horrible. But I can keep it at bay. Or I can also keep it at bay with any kind of potatoes other than like french fries. Okay? Cannot keep it at bay because that is fried in a bunch of crap. I can keep it at bay with the Lidl's low fat, it's lower carbs than what I'm used to. The thin little baked potato chips, I can keep it at bay perfectly well with a handful of those as well, which is way less carbs than when I eat the bread or when I eat a potato. I mean, a handful of them and I'm fine again. It is the weirdest crap. The heartburn goes away. But yeah, that is my whole goal in life, is to be content and happy. Because right now I am finally, even though I'm probably disappointing people not doing keto because I'm doing 75 total carbs, but most days it's way under that, by the way. Just saying. I was getting upset about that and not filming because of that. And it's really hard to change a YouTube name, and I really don't want to change my YouTube name, but right now I just do low carb. And I am very content and happy with my life right now. And when I look in the mirror, I'm not disgusted. I'm actually wearing biker shorts out in public. Y'all, when I was like 159, 157, whatever pounds, I would not wear shorts in public, ever. I was too fat. My brain saw me as a huge well. Maybe it was the loose skin. I refused to wear shorts. I would wear my skirts because they were longer. They weren't tight against my body. You couldn't see my form. But here I am wearing biker shorts for the last 2 months. And I don't feel uncomfortable in them at all. Not a tiny bit. Okay, y'all. It is getting hotter. I'm going to call my daughter and be like, girl, you're supposed to have been out here 10 minutes ago. Where are you? I want to go home because mommy's hot in the car. Prey does not want to sit and run like this. Alright, I still have to answer this comment, but I thought it would be a great conversation. Y'all, it's 105 and I'm walking outside like an idiot. The comment was a video 3 years ago. I looked really happy and healthy, and my weight was like 159 after In Your Carb Confusion challenge I did. That I seemed very happy. I'm going to be honest. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I was anything but happy. Not even a tiny bit. I was struggling. I was struggling with everything. I was struggling with emotions. I was struggling with trying to get used to a man, living with a man again. I hadn't done that in years of my life. I was struggling when he came with his culture. I had my culture, and he didn't believe that country, you know, being Southern is a culture. He just always kept saying I did things weirdly. Southern thing. And when I was saying it's a Southern thing, it would make him mad. Because that's not a real thing. That's just a me issue. We got over all of that. All of it. Took forever for my mom and everyone to convince him a Southern thing isn't a joke. It actually is a real thing that all Southerners do. Okay? When we say here in North Carolina, we're going to a barbecue, 9 times out of 9, like literally almost every single time, it's going to be shredded North Carolina barbecue. So there's going to be some vinegar in there, a little sugar maybe, red pepper flakes, depending on which side of the line you draw. Might be tomato paste or might be ketchup, depends on which side of North Carolina you're on. That is what a barbecue is. You go into a cookout, you're going to have some hot dogs and hamburgers, okay? Because that's a North Carolina thing. You say you go into a barbecue in Texas, you're going to have some yummy, delicious ribs and all kind of stuff. And in Kansas, you get a delicious brown sugar sauce on your food. Like, it just means different things, okay? My Cuban friends, when they invited me over to a barbecue, I knew for a week they had been smoking with banana leaves a whole pig in the ground. I already knew that because that's a Cuban thing. At least all the Cubans I knew. I knew what that meant. So it took a long time for us to get used to everything. This is probably the happiest I've been in years. The last 8 months. Other than when I was sick. I was miserable and sad because of being so sick. But we have accepted. We have different terms and different everything. I am way so much more. But I have actual real energy. Real energy. Not a fake energy. Not a little bit of energy. Real energy. And I'm actually very happy in my relationship. We're at a very good place. Like a very loving, kind, sweet place. So that's the funny thing. Social media, you can portray whatever you want to. You can seem very, very happy and not be. But for the first time in a long time, I actually am very happy. This is real energy. This is doing this with fibromyalgia, mast cell activation syndrome, high blood pressure. Basically have POTS because every time I bend over, my ears ring, I can pass out, I see stars, my blood pressure drops. Okay, this is also having sleeping issues. This is also a girl with severe ADHD, which I am being tested for again because I was tested years ago and everything has changed. Also, they want to test me for autism because they think my daughter's right. They think I actually do have autism. I do not believe it, but they say because of my sensitivities, my emotions, my ways things have to be a certain way. I just thought that was my personality traits, but they are trying to tell me it is not. So we will see. We will see. But we will see. And I will read you the diagnosis. Like they give you a whole list. They tell you what makes you what way and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I already know I have ADHD, but they think it's worse than what I was originally diagnosed with, so they want to redo it, and we're redoing it next month because it's been 20 plus years, over 20 years since my diagnosis. And yes, I've tried every meds out there on the market, and none of them work. I either have an adverse reaction or have a allergic reaction. So I just self-medicate with caffeine. Because that's all Ritalin is anyways, is caffeine, and it slows our brain and body down. Alright, y'all. This is why I'm happy. Yes, I have some bad. These have not got picked because no one was eating them, and now they've turned bad. I guess you can't see it. I wasn't showing properly. Well, that one's not. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one still, but that one back there, I don't know if you can see it. It is bad because I missed it yesterday, and it is soft as anything. I will pick it tomorrow when I pick everything else. Maybe I should pick them so they don't go bad. But everything's hit really hard with heat today, so I kind of don't want to get into it. So basically, all I'm saying is we can betray one thing, and people think that's what it is. Like, that was really happy 3 years ago, when the truth is I wasn't. But now that sometimes I seem miserable because of being sick, I actually am happy. I actually for the first time, and not stressing. I have a list to meet that don't make me sick. I just stick to them 99% of the time, so I don't have to stress, am I going to get sick? I'm not stressing about the scale. It is basically the same. It is anywhere from 223 and 218. So I'm not stressing about that. Now come fall, I won't be having all this sweating and hard labor like this. So I will need to stress at that time to make sure that scale does not go up. But like I said, right now, believe it or not, I am really happy. I feel safe in my relationship. I feel content. Thrilled about my porch, even though it's a mess. It's a mess because I've been too hot to put it back together. Even with the ants that piled into my house this week and gave me a nightmare, I'm so happy, which is weird because happy is not a place I'm usually at, to be honest. I'm not a depressed person, but I'm always like melancholy, like I don't feel anything. It's just like whatever, just like But for the last 8 months, other than when I'm sick, or a few times because I got my period and I have that stupid forgot what it's called. Anyways, women have been known to kill people with this condition the week before their period. Totally forgot what it's called, but I don't really get them because I have an IUD. So when I'm really sad and down, it's just because that's coming. It messes with my emotions and puts me in a severe anger and depression for a week or two. But I haven't had one of those in months and months, maybe a year now, maybe. I don't even remember the last time I had one. Like I said, I have an IUD. I usually don't get them anyways, occasionally, but I'm hot, I'm sweaty. We're going inside. We are going inside. And even though I have 8 pain in the butt brats, they make their mommy happy. Came to make sure my plants are alive. I took so much time watering them yesterday. I have a horrible migraine from the storm last night. I killed myself in the heat, and then it stormed. For how much rain we got, the rocks are gone. They've been washed away in multiple places out here in the driveway because of how much rain. All that struggling out here yesterday And I didn't need to water them. Well, I don't have to water them today. Even though it's nice and cool today. I probably wouldn't have had such a migraine, but I actually overslept by an hour and a half. So I got 9 and almost 10 hours of sleep. And I get severe migraines when I go over 8 hours. And the storm didn't help. It made my sinuses hurt. Yesterday I came out here because somebody was falling over. And it doesn't matter how many times I clipped them, put them on poles, it doesn't matter. So I came out here pruning, especially since we're so hot and having trouble with water. So they should have got a really good rain because I deep rooted watering them. So now they might have too much water and they might get bottom rot or blossom rot, wherever you're from. Okay, it's the bottom of the tomato to me, so I've always called it bottom rot. Other people I know call it bottom rot. The actual word is blossom rot because that's where the blossom was. But yeah, look, this is why I came out here pruning. She fell yesterday. She's our best one and tastes the best. And she collapsed in the heat. So I was trying to save her. Like, she already had all these stakes and everything to keep her in, but her actual arm, main branch, just fell over. I managed to keep it from breaking. And I just tied her up the best I could on more poles. But I was not expecting to see her collapse. And that was before the rain. Some of these other ones collapsed yesterday in the heat too. Yeah, we're going to lose that whole branch. So, whoa, my head hurts. The pressure inside my head is going to make me scream. I'm going to go back inside. And hopefully the ibuprofen worked because I have to take my daughter to her appointments today. That one over in the corner over here fell yesterday as well. Not sure that one will make it. It really fell and I couldn't pull it back up. We'll find out. Alright, I'm trying to put this so I don't block it with my body. My migraine is starting to go away. It is 11:20. It is 79 degrees out here. I did not have to water the garden. So, we are going to make some breakfast. Because I have to go out with my daughter today. Will not be home until later. And I'm a little hungry. Whether I eat it or not is another story. Sometimes I start eating and I just cannot eat it. Ooh, I should have brought my tongs, which I will go get in a second. This is just water. Making sure nothing was left on, that I got it clean enough. I knew if my dad was awake, so I don't want to go over there and wake him up because I'll wake my mom up. That's the problem when you want to help and cook for other people, but you don't know what their schedule is because it's always something different. Because I could make him some breakfast. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to throw on here is the Boar's Head Butcher Craft Thick Cut. I will be buying more of this one. Since we are not focused on a number on the scale until September, because I have so much going on, and like I said, I don't want to stress myself out by a scale. And I only eat a couple of pieces of this. So if you're a calorie person, yeah, I don't even get 1,000 calories a day. And I'm not lying. I don't know how to get it in. I start to get sick to my stomach. Maybe if I was to eat a stick of butter, but then I would throw it up. Maybe if I ate a whole thing of bacon, but then I'm probably going to throw it up. Like, it's very hard for me. This will be hard for me to even eat. So I eat solid food once a day, and I drink 2 coffees, and I make sure they're 200 calories a piece. I can't make them more. I tried to make them more and I threw them up. I'm having a lot of issues with fat. My stomach does not like fat. And the truth is, most of my beginning keto, other than some butter, eggs, a few slices of bacon here or there, most of my meals were boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which, oh, I don't even have that eye on. Let's turn that eye on. Or let's just move it over. I'll turn it on for a second though, because it did have raw bacon on it. So, definitely going to get some boar's head deli meat today because I can eat it and not have issues. Yesterday, other than the little picanha I had, was it yesterday or did I have it the day before? It might have been yesterday. I couldn't hold anything down, like everything was making me nauseous. And I am having a bad flare-up today. So when storms come through, I have a mast cell activation flare-up. For me, that is shaky, that is nausea, that is stomach issues, that is severe, severe migraines. My nose and face feels like someone's breaking it. It is causing, because of the mold from the rain, you know, hitting the ground, releasing the spores, causes severe, severe allergies. So mast cell activation syndrome is basically the cells that wake up when you're having an allergic reaction and goes to town on your body to keep you alive, but in the process it feels like it's killing you because it can swallow your throat shut. So it can actually kill you, which makes no sense to me. You would think if it was there to keep you alive, you wouldn't be having these kind of crazy reactions. But that is what happens to the mast cell. You have to learn your triggers. Mine is severe heat, severe cold, like not even severe cold. 67 can set mine off at times. If I was outside and came inside. Rain, unfortunately, which I love. Rain is a big one. Fortunately, dirt and plants outside so far has not bothered me. Stress is a major factor, and food. Food, y'all. It is so hard to find foods I'm not going to have a reaction to. So, a severe GERD issue. They discovered my GERD is caused by the mast cell activation syndrome, but is like, there's no way to stop it. So that's the problem. I can make it worse by eating onions and garlic and paprika and all that stuff. I can make it a billion times worse by eating hot dogs and all that, which also will give me migraines. Now I haven't tried boar's head hot dogs in years. So I can make it all worse, right? Is when the problem. It's so easy to make it worse. And so hard to find foods and environment that doesn't make it worse. That is the problem here. You know what? I'm going to turn this side off right now. Oh, I need this middle one on. Maybe we'll just cook in the middle today. I know what I mean. I keep having issues about what I want to do. Let's turn it back on. I'm going to go ahead and throw the beef on there. Hopefully y'all can see me. I think you can. I was going to just put the bacon and then throw the beef in where the bacon was. But the bacon takes so long, the beef takes so long. And even though it's only 80, it's gotten to 81 because I turned the griddle on. I don't want to be out here in the heat too much. I've had way too many days of being in the heat. And tonight I am cooking on doing some of the food on this and then just using the other grill. I don't use gloves for my beef because I will eat it raw, so it doesn't bother me. And I will be cooking it for a long time, so it doesn't matter if the bacon touches it. And yes, I will get a new spatula since this had raw bacon on it before I pull anything off. Bacon grease. Let me make sure these are lit. They're lit. They're just taking their time today. Yeah, it definitely was not ready to turn over because it's curling up. When you turn it over too soon, they curl, I've noticed. I'm definitely not dressed. And yes, I wear my green tank top a lot. So you see me wear clothes a lot, it's not the same tank top. Walmart had all their tank tops on sale for like 50 cents. And I bought millions of greens and some pinks and all different colors. And then I just normally grab whatever's on top of my thing. And it's usually by color, so a week or two you'll see me all in green, and then I switch, and it's just for the yard, it's just for the house, not to go out places. You aren't ready either. I am noticing on not as hot days, it's going to take longer to cook on this bad boy, which is fine. I just need to learn all this stuff. I'm going to lower this side drastically. Don't want it to cook more. I almost got my foot with grease. That would not have been fun. Now, this should not take that long. Like I said, if I knew my dad was awake, I would make some eggs. About time to switch. Alright, let me get a new spatula and put the other steak inside. do plan on trying an egg soon. I just bought a brand new cardigan. But after having the storm, that's the last thing I want to do is try stuff again. Sticking with what I know works for me. And the bacon's about to come off. So bacon continues to cook once you pull it off. So yes, I made extra because I like beef cold and bacon cold. I'm trying to get myself to eat more protein. It's very hard that I can't eat chicken. It makes everything difficult. Okay, now this is going to be loud scraping, so I'm going to turn this off and scrape. Alright, I know it's dark. I'm sorry. It's not dark outside. I've had to make my room dark. One of my biggest fears happened today with my illness. So you saw me cooking this morning. I ate 1 piece of bacon, 2 pieces of the beef, and gave the rest to my mom to give to my dad when he woke up. And I had already woke up with a severe migraine and not feeling so great. I haven't felt my best in the last 2 days. I felt really shaky and weak. I took my daughter to her therapy appointment, and my migraine's back. I'm waiting for the Motrin to kick in, so it's kind of hard to have my eyes open. But I took my daughter to her therapy appointment. I dropped off. I went over to Harris Teeter to order my meat and get my dad and Dino and them a sub. Not me a sub, of course, even though it's boar's head meat. It's not the right ones, and the bread's not right, and can't have any of the fixins. Y'all, when I just do the boar's head low sodium deli meat and no salt deli meat and the Hawaiian rolls, I have no episodes. None, even if it rains. I have 0 episodes. Y'all, I had an episode while I was out. Had to rush to the bathroom, barely made it. I had to keep swallowing down throw up because obviously there's no bucket and I don't want to throw up all over the floor because I'm stuck on the toilet. It was horrifying, and I was shaking, and instead of my pulse raising sky high like it normally does during those episodes, it dropped like lower than I've ever seen it before. I like in the 50s. Mine never ever goes below like 68, and that's when I'm sleeping. It was horrifying. I was so scared. And then I went to pick my daughter back up, but there was still 15 minutes. Had another episode in that bathroom, and I managed to make it home before another episode. This time I do have buckets because it's my house. Y'all, I get it. I'm told it's mast cell. And yes, I believe it, because not only was that happening, but it felt like someone had their finger down my throat the whole time. My throat was really swollen, and now I'm having really bad heartburn. Like, horrible. It was coming out my nose a few minutes ago. My throat is on fire. Plus, I have a horrible migraine. I really think my trigger is food. I really think those are the only food I can eat. That and the blackberries, I've noticed, with 0 episodes. I was doing really good with this 1 ground beef I was eating, like the week of 4th of July. And the week before, I had no episodes with that and the cheese. So, I don't know. I do know I am going to try something that is going to be hard for me, but I just want to make sure. I am removing Skinny Girl syrup. Okay, my first episode of this bad started 4 years ago when I was in Hawaii. Okay, so Skinny Girl syrup's the only thing I have not removed. And I don't think it's that, because even when I'm just doing the other food, I don't have the episodes, and they're part of my diet. And I've already gone down to 1 coffee a day. Occasionally I'll have 2. And I've already lowered the collagen to almost nothing a day. It's not even a full scoop a day. It's like a half a scoop a day. Just trying not to have reactions. But I find it funny that when I start trying to eat healthy food that is not processed, I start having episodes again. Every time. But I can eat Hawaiian rolls and Boar's Head low sodium turkey and ham, or no salt turkey, with 0 reactions. None. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence because it rained last night and that triggered it, or if it was from my food. But what I do know is I'm gonna go to sleep, because the episodes always make me desperately sleepy, beyond belief. And I have a severe migraine, and definitely having some sinus headache on top of the migraine. And it takes an hour plus for my ibuprofen to kick in, so I was having a good afternoon yesterday, and I was fine this morning. Perfectly fine. Like, I was a little tired, I had a migraine, but I didn't have the weakness and the weird episode. And I was starting to question whether the doctors are all right or not, because I don't know, but after also feeling like someone had their finger down my throat, and it's the easiest way to explain if you've never felt your throat closing shut. The easiest way is, imagine someone put their whole finger down your throat. It made you gag because you're not getting anything up and down. And I was so scared if I threw up I was going to choke to death. But that part ended, and then the heartburn came. The last time my throat felt that swollen was when I was eating chicken. Like, so, yeah. Gonna go to sleep.